In the fanciest building in the area, everyone knew who the old cleaning lady was. She moved slowly through the hallways, very overweight, limping, pushing a noisy cart full of cleaning products. Her face was full of wrinkles, spots and deep dark circles, hair pulled into a crooked bun, and a hearing aid shining in her ear. Some employees held back laughter when she bent down with difficulty. Others changed the subject when she entered the room. To most, she was just the cleaner who ruined the aesthetics of the glass-covered building. What no one suspected was that the woman taking the trash out every day also had her name on the property deed. Her name was Adélia. She came from the countryside and had spent her whole life cleaning houses for people who barely remembered her last name. She married a quiet bricklayer who became a foreman, then a small contractor. Together, they raised walls they could never live inside. One day he hit the jackpot on a project. They built that huge office building that was later rented out to several companies. He died before seeing it all finished, but left the property in her name. Adélia, illiterate in contracts but a PhD in reading people, decided one thing. Before being just the owner, she wanted to see how they treated those they thought were worth nothing in there. The first time Adélia walked into the building as a cleaner, she felt the floor almost disappear under her feet. Marble tiles, mirrored elevator, a lobby with a sofa she wouldn't even dare to sit on. The uniform didn't help. A simple apron, a light shirt that showed every fold of her body, worn sneakers adapted because one leg was weaker. "Are you the new cleaning lady?" asked the receptionist, with that smile that never reaches the eyes. "Yes, sir. You can call me Donna Adélia." He looked her up and down, swallowing a "Right. Just don't stay too long here in the front, okay? We really care about the building's image." Image. A pretty word that, in a lot of people's mouths, only means you don't match the scenery. In the following days, Adélia discovered what image meant in practice. Suited employees walked by and threw candy wrappers on the floor, because the cleaning lady picks it up. While she wiped the glass, some would comment loudly, "This building is top tier, right? Only that cleaner who looks like she came out of a horror movie. That limping one? Looks like she's about to fall apart along with the cart." She pretended to focus on the cloth, but even with the hearing aid, her ears caught everything. One day, an executive almost tripped over her bucket in the hallway. Instead of watching where he walked, he exploded. "Make this stuff invisible, ma'am. This kind of look is terrible when clients walk by here." Adélia lowered her head, muttered a "sorry, sir," and pushed the cart into the corner. In the shared break room, she heard a group of young start-up employees talk about her like an object on set. "Have you noticed the cleaner's face? She always looks tired and mad. If I were the building manager, I'd put her in a more decent uniform, or get someone else, you know?" She washed their coffee mugs in silence. On the outside, water and detergent. On the inside, a certainty forming. If this is how they treat a fat, limping, ugly cleaner, this is how they treat anyone they think doesn't belong in the picture. And that was exactly what she had come to see. One late afternoon, the company on the 12th floor decided to have an internal happy hour. Low music, laughter, plastic cups filled with soda and beer. The hallway was crowded with people talking loudly about targets, trips, cars. As always, Adélia was just the shadow with a broom, dodging expensive shoes. While she picked up empty cups, she heard the manager of that company complaining at the door of the conference room turned party. "This building is great, perfect location, solid structure, but the cleaning really brings the standard down. That lady, sorry, but she doesn't give a good impression to clients." Some people laughed, others nodded. A younger employee tried to push back, "But she's nice, boss." The manager raised his hand, cutting him off. "Nice doesn't pay rent. Image does." The sentence hit Adélia like cold water. She took a deep breath and finished picking up the trash without letting her hands shake. The following week, the building manager sent a notice to all floors. Attention tenants, tomorrow we will have a general meeting with the building's owner and the management company. Attendance of all company managers is mandatory. On the day of the meeting, the floors were buzzing, everyone speculating. I heard the owner is coming from out of town. Are they going to raise the rent? Hope they bring someone in to improve the cleaning. At the scheduled time, the managers gathered in the conference room on the 5th floor. Long table, cold water, coffee, projector showing the building logo. The manager announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to welcome the owner of the building." The door opened slowly. And there she came, limping, carrying the same heavy body, the same face marked by wrinkles, the same hearing aid shining in her ear. Donna Adélia, now wearing a simple but freshly ironed blouse and a look no one there had ever seen before. One manager choked on his coffee. Another executive tried to hide his shock by adjusting his blazer. The silence in the room was as heavy as the rent for all those floors combined. Adélia walked to the head of the table, slowly, without apologizing for how long it took. She sat down carefully, placed her thick hands on the wood, and looked each face in the eye for a few seconds. Then she smiled, that short smile of someone who's done pretending to be background decor. "Good morning. For those who don't know me, I'm Adélia. Some of you know me as the old cleaning lady, the ugly cleaner, the one who ruins the lobby's aesthetics." No one laughed. The building manager shifted in his seat, uncomfortable. "This building was built by my husband. He died before it was done. He left it in my name, trusting I'd take care of it. And I decided to take care of it the way I know how, by seeing with my own eyes how you treat the people at the bottom." She took a thick notebook out of her bag, full of crooked handwriting. "I spent weeks listening to how you talk about cleaning staff, security guards, the ladies in the kitchen. I heard a manager say, 'Being nice doesn't pay rent, image does.' I heard you laugh at my body, my leg, my face. At the same time, I saw exhausted workers treated like trash, while we throw away everything left from your fancy snacks." One manager tried to defend himself. "Donna Adélia, if I said something, it was in the heat of the moment. Maybe you misunderstood." She raised her hand, firm. "I may not understand your spreadsheets, but I understand side-eye. And that, my boy, I can spot from far away." She took a breath and went on. "From today on, cleaning, front desk and kitchen will officially be treated as part of this building's image, because they are. And I want a real plan for respect, not a pretty slide deck. If anyone here thinks a fat, limping, ugly cleaner brings down the building's value, you're free to terminate the lease and look for another place." Silence again. Many stared at the table. A few members of the cleaning staff standing in the back held back tears. In the following months, a lot changed. There were training sessions on respect, but the message had already been delivered in the discomfort of that meeting. Adélia kept walking the hallways, sometimes in her cleaning uniform, sometimes not. Anyone with sense didn't wait to find out which version she was that day. They started treating her, and everyone who looked like just support staff, by name. From the outside, the building stayed the same, glass, marble, nice logo, but inside it started to carry a different invisible sign on the door. "Here, the ones who clean also have a say." Donna Adélia spent her life hearing that people like her belonged in the kitchen, in the back, in the maid's room. When she became a widow and found out the entire building was in her name, she could have become just a distant lady, collecting rent into an account she'd never see the color of. Instead, she chose to do what she'd always done best, walk in through the service entrance and see who truly deserved to be there. While many talked about corporate image, she saw the real brand of each company in the crumbs they left behind, in the tone they used with the doorman, in the way they dropped their trash, in the jokes about the cleaner's body. When she revealed herself as the owner, it wasn't to humiliate anyone back. It was to remind them that no badge, high salary, or expensive suit can clean up the filth of disrespect. Maybe you've also been treated as just the cleaning lady, just the cleaner, just the person who serves coffee. Maybe someone has talked about you. You're a piece that ruins the decor, forgetting that you're the one keeping everything standing. If Adélia's story scratched at any wound inside you, type in the comments, "I am not just the cleaning person." Subscribe to Unstoppable Underrated. Share this video with someone who mops the floor every day and still has to hold on to their dignity in a world that only values whoever shines at the front desk.